Good evening, family. It's another day, Mr. B Knowledge Corner. I want to start something new, a little different. Every day you wake up, I want you to go out knowing that today you have the power to do whatever it is that you want to do with your life to make it better. So when you get ready to get your day kicked off, I want you to say this. Today is my day. And regardless what the enemy throws at me, God has already given me the power to overtake it. Say it with me one time. Today is my day, and regardless what the enemy throws at me, God has already given me the power to overtake it. You know, I want to share this story with you. It's a true story. A few years ago, the same day that Prince died, a white dove showed up at my house. I had just got off of work, and I thought it was a paper bag on side the house, but it was a bird. So I wasn't going to bother it. So I let the garage up, and the bird just walked in the garage and flew on top of my bike. I had my bikes hanging on the bike racks, and it just sat there. So I'm thinking, because my neighbor, they rescue animals, so I'm thinking it was their bird. So I waited for my neighbors to come home. The bird was still sitting there. And my neighbors came home. I said, did you guys have a bird that got loose? And my neighbor said, no, we don't have a bird. And I was like, for real? I said, a bird just walked in my garage. He's just sitting there. And so what I did was I went to Walmart. I had a dog cage in my garage. I opened up the dog cage and set it, on the floor. And I went to Walmart and got some bird food. And I got a little bowl and I put the food in there. And the bird flew down after a couple of hours and he got inside the cage. He started eating, so I closed the cage up. The next day I came home. I opened the cage up and the bird just flew out. And he landed on the back of my car. He kind of looked around. He flew around the house a couple times, around my neighbor's house, and he came back into the garage and went back in the cage. This went on for a couple of days. Around the third day, I came home from work, and I said, let me go and let this bird out. So I go in the garage, and I open the cage up, but this day was something different. At first, he would come and fly on the car, but this time he flew on top of the house. And the bird looked down at me, and he was looking like, the bird can't talk. So I'm assuming he was like saying thank you for the food that I had went and got from Walmart and that good filtrated water that he had been drinking for like 3 days. He just looked down at me, then he just flew off. I never seen that bird again. So I went to this bird expert, and I asked him about, what would make a bird do what this bird did. He said probably one of the wings was damaged, and this bird needed a place to heal. And I said, it's funny that me and my kids love animals. Everybody know that. And I was thinking that God sent this bird to my house because he knew this was a safe place for this bird to heal. This is where my story get a little tricky for your mind. The Bible said that you can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. But if you notice, a tree, even when it's full of fruit, it never moves. God sent the people to the tree to take the fruit. So now the people in the world can see the image of God through you. And now the seeds are sown everywhere. So my question is, who's the one that God's trying to bless? Because God sent people to you that's hurt, that's damaged, that need a place where they can heal. But when they come to you, which one of you guys are God trying to bless? Is it the one that's in need? Or is it the one that's producing seed? Tell me. Knowledge Corner.